group driven by a passion for excellence in education. Goenka University was established in the year 2013 under the Haryana Private Universities Amendment Act 2013 with an objective to raise the standards of clinical legal education in India. The Goenka University School of Law regularly hosts moot court competition and encourages law students from various law schools and universities from across India to learn the art and skills of advocacy. This year, GD Goenka University is organizing the International Virtual Moot Court Competition 2020 on a proposition based on data privacy and cyber laws. The Moot is ahead of its time as it focuses on problems related to advanced high technology such as 7G phones and related aspects of cyber laws and security. The event has participation from about 30 law schools and universities from across India. Through our outstanding legacy, GD Goenka Moot Court Competition has earned a stellar reputation as an event that revels in the talent of all our participants, their astonishing individuality and uniqueness. It elates our spirit to welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of GD Goenka International Virtual Moot Court Competition 2020. I now wish to introduce Professor Dr. Tabrez Ahmed, Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean School of Law, GD Goenka University. Professor Dr. Tabrez Ahmed is doctorate in cyber law and IPR from AMU Aligarh. He is Pro Vice Chancellor of the GD Goenka University and Dean School of Law. He is Founder President, Technolex, and also the National Vice President of International Council of Jurists, London, and Chair, Legal Education Section of Indian National Bar Association. He was the Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean School of Law at Galgotias University before joining GD Goenka University. He was instrumental in establishing and transforming UPS School of Law, Dehradun, as the Professor and Dean. He is the founder, director of Alliance School of Law and founding professor of KIT Law School and founding faculty of National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. He has also practiced for a while at the bar of Delhi High Court and Supreme Court of India. He has authored a pioneering book entitled Cyber Laws, E-Commerce,
and don't worry, you'll be following the numericals and the things would be better clear to you.
And published more than 100 papers in reputed journals.
20. 40% of the items are valueless.
By New York-based SSRN, he is ranked among the top 200 law authors in the world. He is among the iPleaders 2019 top 100 most followed LinkedIn lawyers and has been ranked at 13th in the world. He has been awarded as the best keynote speaker by the SIET 2019 and awarded top 50 IP lawyers by IPR Gorilla USA. Now, I request Sir to brief the gathering about this event. Please, sir.
Thank you, Karan Arora.
Thank you, sir.
His Excellency Honorable Dr. Justice Salim Marsook, Judge Fiji Supreme Court and former Acting Chief Justice of Sri Lanka Supreme Court. Dr. Suku Bhaskaran, President GD Goenka University, Deans, Directors and Heads from various schools of our university, distinguished guests, my faculty colleagues, dear participants, and most lovable students, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all in the inaugural function of the International Virtual Moot Court Competition. This is a matter of great happiness and pride for us that the virtual Moot 2020 has become a reality. We welcome His Excellency Honorable Dr. Justice Marsook, one of the very well-known legal luminary par excellence in the world. He is a very humble and real gentleman that even from his busy schedule, as well as on a short notice, His Excellency accepted our invitation to be the chief guest of the event. We are extremely honored and privileged by your kind presence. We also welcome to our own president, Dr. Suku Bhaskaran, a well-known academician of international repute. We are extremely happy and encouraged by your presence. We welcome the entire leadership team of deans, directors, and faculty members of GD Goenka University for finding time and gracing the occasion. We welcome all the guests, participants, and judges from all over India and some foreign countries. In fact, we are having around 50 budding lawyers from India, Nepal, and around 20 judges from all over India and some foreign countries. We are extremely motivated and excited by your participation. We welcome all the faculty colleagues from School of Law, GD Goenka University. The School of Law is committed to actively raise the quality of life of every student. We want students to achieve their full potential. We are determined to make it possible. We provide in this process a practical step-by-step assistance, organizing more than 50 high-level academic deliberations during the lockdown period by the university and more than 15 legal programs by the School of Law in a short span of time is a testimony of our commitment towards quality education. We have very innovative 5 specialized programs in the School of Law. These programs give a real interface between law, society, economics, business, science, and technology. The understanding of this dynamics is very important for the success of Make in India, Startup India, Vocal for Local campaigns by the Government of India. As the law can play a very vital role for the development of the country, therefore, there is a strong need to review and make laws which can promote the innovation in all walks of life. The laws have very strong potential to create roadblocks, and the laws can also play the role of catalyst in growth and development of society, trade and commerce. As artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, and blockchains they are going to rule the world, and virtual lifestyle is the new normal we have seen in the lockdown period. Therefore, there is a strong need to find out the optimum regulations for the peaceful development of the world. We are delighted to see your participation in the first virtual international Moot Court competition 2020. Thank you for your participation. That many of you have courage to handle one of the most complex problem of cyber law evinces how much important the event is. Your presence is not only an honor for the School of Law, Goenka University, but also provides an opportunity for the students to get to know the values you cherish and practice in your life. It's a pleasure to see so many of you participating in the event. Hope your participation will be very rewarding and you may make good friends and learn a lot of nuances of law and technology and legal skill. Please find time to visit our website to get further details about our organization. Thank you very much. Events like this scale cannot happen without dedication and hard work. Our Moot Court Association was working very hard from the last 3 months. We are highly appreciative of the efforts put by the entire Moot organizing team, of the students and my faculty colleagues. I welcome you all once again in the first virtual international Moot Court competition 2020. Wish you happy mooting. Thank you all of you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. I would now like to introduce Professor Dr. Suku Bhaskaran, President, GD Goenka University. Professor Dr. Suku Bhaskaran has approximately 4 decades of global experience in teaching, research, academic administration, and corporate leadership positions. He has lead managed several in-country training, research, and consultancy projects in China, Myanmar, Indonesia, Thailand, South Korea, Malaysia, Australia, USA, and India. Professor Dr. Suku Bhaskaran has authored and co-authored more than 100 scholarly research articles, research monographs, book chapters, and other research outputs. He was a consultant for the Excellence in Research for Australia, an initiative by the Government of Australia, and has served as expert assessor of international standing for the Australian Research Council, that is Australia's peak research and development funding agency. Professor Dr. Sukhu Bhaskaran has received several citations and awards for research excellence and contribution to the academic and research profession. I would now request our Honorable President, Professor Dr. Sukhu Bhaskaran, GD Goenka University, to kindly address the audience. Sir, please.
Thank you, Karan Arora, for the very kind introduction. I thank the organizers for inviting me to address this August gathering of bright and young legal minds representing teams that are participating in GD Goenka University's International Moot Court Competition. The Moot Court Competition is an annual event organized by GD Goenka University School of Law. This year, 17 teams from different law schools in India and abroad are participating in the competition. This is a new milestone for this annual event. This year, the theme of the International Moot Court Competition is Data Privacy and Cyber Laws. Because the competition is being held virtually, this could itself provide participants the opportunity to retrospect on how cyber laws could and may need to change in tandem with ongoing rapid advancements in the cyberspace. It's very timely, and you're doing it both doing it virtually, and the topic itself is about virtual engagement. I thank the representatives of the 17 participating teams, the academic and administrative staff at GD Goenka University, and the legal luminaries who will address this gathering. Justice Dr. Salim Marsouf, former judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, and also the non-resident Justice of Appeal of the Supreme Court of Fiji. Thank you very much for taking time off to engage with us in this forum. Dr. Pavan Dugal, Advocate Supreme Court of India, founder and owner, Pavan Dugal Associates, and Chancellor Cyber Law University. Again, thank you for taking time off to engage with us in this forum. And finally, Advocate Dr. Prashant Mali, a thought leader on cyber and privacy policy, an author, speaker, and practicing lawyer. All of you must be extremely busy, and we are humbled by your participation in this event. I congratulate the Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean of the School of Law, Professor Tabriz Ahmad, and his team for successfully organizing this event. I would not mention everyone who helped you put out this program, but a big thank you to all of you. Your work well done. In the brief few months that Professor Tabriz Ahmad has been with us, he has energized the School of Law. In my opinion, he has wonderfully energized the School of Law and created a cohesive, transparent, and result-oriented culture for the school through establishing leading indicators for key areas in which he wishes to enhance the school's performance. Importantly, the changes that Professor Tabriz Ahmad has proposed aligns with the aims and objectives of the university as a whole. As a university, we have decided to focus strongly on student teaching, learning experiences and outcomes. We need to focus on student satisfaction with the delivery of our courses, quality and intensity of research and research dissemination endeavors, international engagements and the internationalization of the curriculum, and finally, we hope over time to achieve greater diversity in our student and staff cohort. I'm delighted that thanks to the committed team that we have and the ongoing changes that we are making, GD Goenka University has made significant inroads in all these key areas. Regrettably, in the last 4 months, there has been some aberrations because of the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Understandably, there has been pain, and I personally regret this. I thank the academic and administrative staff members for the understanding, support, and commitment to jointly address these challenges that we have been facing in the last 4 months. Working together cohesively and unselfishly we are addressing these challenges much more rapidly than what we had anticipated in the beginning. Moving on to more generic matters, I'm glad that as a nation, we have agreed to the new education policy that substantive changes are required in our education system. The first step to improvement is to avoid denial and recognize that we have to review what we are doing, benchmark with global systems and best practices, and then, if found wanting, bite the bullet and work on changes so that we are not left behind. There's no point pushing problems under the carpet. We've got to grab them and address them. Gladly, our new education policy has recognized the need for change in our education system and has proposed change in structures, systems, and processes that aim to correct the limitations in India's education system. I wish to make a few personal observations, and you must be careful about what I say. I must be careful about what I say because I'm talking as a non-specialist in this area. These include, I will comment on the legal education in India as I, a layman, sees it, and the concept of rule of law as it pertains to India. My summation is that concerted actions are needed in both fronts. There are 1,170 law colleges and about 2 million lawyers in India. You might get some insight of perhaps the overcrowding in this space if you compare this with, say, the medical profession in India. There are only about 600 medical colleges and about 840,000 medical practitioners in India. Just think of the vast difference in the number of training institutions and professionals in these two spaces. And again, I repeat, I'm speaking as a layman, but when I saw this data, I said, wow, this is quite strange why there is such diversity in both these professions. In terms of global rankings, for the Times Higher Education World University Rankings and the QS University Rankings, the two most authoritative sources of global higher education rankings, regrettably, no law college in India is ranked among the top 100 colleges in the world. And the new education policy is focused on addressing this problem. But very interestingly, what I saw was that for the QS World University subject rankings in law, O.P. Jindal University, a young privately owned university, is in the 101 to 150 global rank. This inevitably makes O.P. Jindal Global University, in my opinion again, India's premier institution for legal education. The National Law School of India University in Bangalore features between 151 to 200. Besides these two institutions, our other law colleges do not fare very well. If we agree that the Times Higher Education World University subject rankings and QS World University subject rankings are useful indicators of our global standing in legal education, it means that we have to seriously examine the quality of learning experience offered in our law colleges. And I know that our law school is working in this direction to improve the quality. And also feel somewhat satisfied. I also feel somewhat satisfied that there is light at the end of the tunnel, as some of our relatively young and privately owned law colleges had leapfrogged and are beginning to match global standards that many of our public institutions have not yet been able to achieve. So the private institutions are beginning to make some important contributions in terms of the quality of teaching, learning, research, and internationalization. If we now turn from legal education to the practice of law, particularly the rule of law, there are regrettably disconcerting evidence that calls for concern and urgent redressal. Dr. Salim, I'm sorry, I'm speaking as a layman. I'm not a lawyer, so bear with me if my interpretations are quite different. For the World Justice Project, effective rule of law reduces corruption, combats poverty and disease, and protects people from injustice. The World Rule of Law Index uses 8 indicators to measure the rule of law, constraints on government power, absence of corruption, open government, fundamental rights, order and security, regulatory enforcement, civil justice, and criminal justice. For the past several years, India has featured between 65 to 70 in the World Rule of Law Index. I.e., for this index, we do not feature highly in regard to rule of law. This needs to be examined, and we need to correct this. Of course, we are better than Pakistan, which is ranked 120, or Bangladesh, which is ranked 115, but these are countries we do not want to emulate. We want to set much higher standards for ourselves. So there is some food for thought here. The important thing is that as a nation, we are making changes, even if belatedly. All of us have the responsibility to contribute to this change. There is increasing evidence of this deep desire for change and to adopt global best practices. This is positive, and I believe that you will make significant contributions in these endeavors. I thank you for this great privilege to speak to you. My very best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for formally welcoming our distinguished guests and participants and for your own kind words. To enlighten us with his grace and prudence, we have with us today Honorable Justice Dr. Salim Marsouf, PC. Justice Dr. Salim Marsouf is currently a judge of the Supreme Court of Fiji, who has served Sri Lanka as a state counsel, rising up to the position of Solicitor General before being elevated as the President of the Court of Appeal and Judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. Justice Marsouf is a law graduate of the University of Colombo, who earned his master's degree in law from the University of Colombo, specializing in administrative law, and also a second master's degree in law from the University of San Diego, California, with concentration in international trade law. Blending his academic acumen to this professional experience, he has won many prestigious awards and fellowships, including the Nuffield Fellow of the Institute of Advanced Legal Studies of the University of London. Recognition of his professional excellence, he was awarded Silk and the title of President's Counsel, which is the equivalent of Queen's Counsel in UK. His contribution to the development of law and legal research was also recognized by the University of Colombo by the award of a degree of Doctor of Laws, LLD honoris causa. I now wholeheartedly request Honorable Justice Dr. Salim Marsouf to enlighten us. Sir, please.
Thank you very much for that very generous introduction. And good morning. I must say to President Suku Bhaskaran, Professor Tabriz Ahmed, and other academic staff, as well as the other staff of GD Goenka School of Law, respected Moot Court judges, distinguished guests, participating competitors, and ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by welcoming all participating teams in this international Moot Court competition. Their trainers, coaches, teachers, and well-wishers, and thanking the organizers of this event for inviting me for the inaugural ceremony. It's a great pleasure to be with you this morning to see the inauguration of this very interesting, very rewarding Moot competition. And if I may just advert to what President Suku Bhaskaran has been saying, the legal profession is visualized to be overcrowded, not only in India, in Sri Lanka, in Fiji, and even in many other parts of the world. The reasons may be many, and when you compare with the medical profession, I think the biggest reason that I could talk about is the difficulty in entering the medical profession and the very much easier access to the legal profession. But in Sri Lanka too, we are involved in this exercise. I'm a member of a team that have been set up by a committee that have been set up by the University Grants Commission in Sri Lanka, which is supervising all universities, to see how we can overcome this problem and also how we can raise the Sri Lankan legal education standards to competitive international levels. It's very, very important because we are in a virtual global world, and although we are divided as countries, we have a lot of interaction and we have severe competition globally. And therefore it's necessary even to be up to the mark in the legal profession, in legal learning, we have to keep up the standards. And I share the same views and same thoughts that Suku Bhaskaran presented, and we are in this together. Now, it has been said that the moot court experience is the genesis of legal career that regardless of the area of practice, requires excellence in advocacy. An excellent advocate is knowledgeable on the law, masterful in marshalling facts, skilled in the forensic arts, respectful of decorum, particularly court decorum, compliant with proper procedure, mindful of due process, fair with adversaries, devoted to the client, helpful to the court, honest with everyone, and above all, persuasive. I think what we try to do in this moot competition is to enhance the persuasive skills of the competitors, the students who are participating. But it is equally important for us to enhance the listening process. And in moot competitions, that also happens because it's very, very important to listen to what the other side is saying, to listen to what the judges are asking from you for clarification, and to respond appropriately, respond effectively, and respond persuasively. As a hybrid legal practitioner, cum academic, hailing from Sri Lanka with a wide international experience, moot courts have always intrigued me. The word moot, as in moot court, is virtual opposite of academic. When we say that something is academic, that matter is no more in issue. It is well settled and is not debatable. But when we say that something is moot, something is a moot point of law, it is highly debatable, it's controversial, it is something that is open for persuasion. It is ideal that moot court problems are formulated in a way that the two contending counsel will be able to debate the issue at length, and there is something to argue about. Moot courts had their origins in law schools established to bring out legal practitioners of the future. I think reference was made a little while ago by Professor Suku Bhaskaran to the Bangalore School of Law, where Professor Krishna Menon had a big role in establishing. And he went on, ironically and maybe happily, to be the head of the Judges Institute, what we call the Indian Judicial Academy in Bhopal. And he has set up a beautiful campus there, to which I have had the honor of being there. And I'm very impressed by the fact that an academician was taken to lead a judicial training establishment. Now, this is the point that I wish to make, because the line between what we call academia and practitioner is becoming more blurred. And in the same way, the line between various international jurisdictions, the various countries, the laws, is also becoming very much blurred. And we find that there is greater need, at least, and there is to some extent we have succeeded in doing this, to have some principles of law that will apply in common to all the jurisdictions which get into this kind of internet related, cyber related transactions, issues, e-commerce, and various other things that happen in the virtual world, which we have to debate about, and very necessary for us to understand. Now, moot courts had their origins in law schools established to bring about legal practitioners of the future, and somehow have now found a place in academia, and often sponsored and organized by academic institutions such as the G.D. Jindal Law School. I'm glad that what the G.D. Goenka School of Law has organized for today and tomorrow is not confined to Indian universities and institutions, but is open to the world. It is open, and I understand that there are overseas participants, including from Nepal. That is good because that can add variety, for the simple reason that the law is not the same and varies from country to country. And it comes to the law related to internet and cybercrime, etc., cyber security. There are many gray areas to talk about. Moot courts involve stimulated proceedings before the court original or appellate, an arbitral tribunal, or even an international dispute resolution body. Moots are focused mainly on the application of the law to a common set of evidentiary assumptions, facts, and clarifications to which the competitors are introduced. Moot courts enhance three most important skills that law schools offer their students. Number one, starting an argument with perhaps a conclusion, because very often the party appearing in the moot will be wanting to persuade to accept their point of view. So it's a conclusion. They start with a conclusion and argue. Secondly, differentiating facts from opinion. And third aspect of it is organizing a legal argument by issue rather than by chronological narrative of facts. Moot court also teaches students professionalism and ethics, to apply law to fact, to structure and rank a legal argument by strength, and not to assert losing positions, because that will be very, very tactless. By giving law students opportunities to improve their legal writing, legal research, and oral advocacy in a competitive environment that prepares students for competitive world, the moot court experience is unlike any other law school event. It is perhaps the law school activity that most fully develops the skill every lawyer must possess, advocacy, which is simply the ability to persuade the judges or the judge who hears the moot court case. Regardless of practice area, all lawyers must communicate in a way that advances their client's interests, whether in a courtroom or boardroom. Most important, moot court builds character. Every student competitor will be a better lawyer and a better person because of the moot court experience. The success of a competitor in a moot court depends not only on his argumentative skills, but as I have said before, also on the ability to listen, to understand the question that has been put by a judge and respond to it effectively in a manner that satisfies the judge. Moots are not won purely on winning the point or points argued on, but the lawyering skill exhibited by the contestants. And I think that this international competition will not only help the enhancement of these required skills, but will also bring about international understanding and understanding of human nature. I wish all the participating competitors all the very best. Enjoy this while it lasts. Thank you.
We are grateful to you, sir, for motivating us with your thought-provoking speech. Thank you. I would now like to request Professor Dr. Anil Lavra to propose the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Dr. Daura, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir, for pointing out. On behalf of GD Goenka University and the School of Law, it's my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks. To begin with, we are extremely thankful to Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Salim Marsouf, former judge of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka and now the Supreme Court judge of Fiji, for having accepted our invite on a short notice and for being with us in this inaugural function. Thank you so much, sir. And your words of encouragement to the participating teams in terms of the importance of moot court, I think that will go a long way in helping them and develop into a good legal professional. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time and being with us in this inaugural function. In addition to the chief guest, I would also like to thank all the judges who are going to be part of this moot and judging the various activities of the moot at the initial stage, semi-final and the final stage. So thanks to all those judges too. I would like to, at this time, also thank my MD, Mr. Nipun Goenka, who has been a very strong and staunch supporter of clinical legal education right from the time this law school was established. In fact, he has been one person who has been encouraging and going all out to support us in organizing the moot courts in the GD Goenka University. We are also thankful to Dr. Suku Bhaskaran and Dr. Dhirendra Parihar, our registrar, for supporting us in this venture of the first virtual moot court organized by our university. And I think the entire credit for today's international virtual moot court goes to Dr. Tabriz Ahmed. We have been having physical moot courts, but in this time of crisis, he was the one who conceived this idea and motivated our team of faculty to come out in a limited and a very, very short time to make this virtual moot court a success. So thank you so much, sir, for the idea of the virtual moot and motivating all of us to work for it and to make it a success. We are also thankful to our partners in this virtual moot and the media personnel, whether from the electronic media or the written media, who always support us in such ventures. And I think I'll be understating if I just say thanks, the efforts put in by the team, our colleagues in various committees who work day in and day out to make sure that this event goes in a very, very successful manner. Because this is the first time we are organizing a virtual moot. So it was a big challenge. But of course, under the leadership of Dr. Tabriz Ahmed, our PVC, and the Dean School of Law, I think it'll be a good precedent with this moot court. Thank you again to all the colleagues and Tabriz, sir. And in addition to our colleagues, there were a lot of students, including Karan, who's the current moderator today. They have been helping all my colleagues to organize this virtual moot. So thanks to all the students also who are playing a very proactive role, or who played a very proactive role in making this virtual moot a success. And last but not the least, I want to thank all the teams who have come from across India and from abroad to participate in this virtual moot, which itself, I think, makes them a winner. Though there will be a team who will be a winner, but from my side, I think all of them are winners, because in this time of crisis, if they have taken an effort to participate in such an important topic of virtual moot, they're all winners for me. So from my side, happy mooting to all the teams, and thanks to all of you. Thank you.
So much, sir. With the ceremony, we are looking forward to a constructive and fun-filled coming days. While our participants may compete with each other for the coveted titles, we hope that post-GD Goenka international competition experience becomes a winner. Thank you all for attending, and we hope experiences will be remarkable and unforgettable. Wish good luck to all the participating teams. May the best team win. Thank you. Now there will be declaration of results from preliminary round by the Moot Court Committee.
Good morning, everyone. This is Shreyas Vyas. Myself, from the part of the core committee and on behalf of our School of Law, GD Goenka University and our Dean Sir, we hereby declaring the results. So the teams who have qualified for the quarterfinals, I'll be just telling their team codes, and the further results will be declared through our rounds, through our Facebook page and all necessary medias. We'll be declaring the results. So the teams who have qualified for the quarterfinal rounds are as following. The team code GDGU GUV 14, GDGU V06, GDGU V15, GDGU V303, GDGU V09, GDGU V04, GDGU V16, GDGU V07. Thank you, everyone. So these are the teams, and now we'll be proceeding. I'll request our student core committee to kindly conduct the draw of lots. Proceed with the draw of lot.
Good morning and hello teams. So I will start with the draw of lots. For the draw of lots, I will be calling the team codes, and my dear colleague Akshita will pick up the chit on your behalf, and we will record that in the fixtures, which will be projected on a screen at the end of the draw of lots. So kindly listen carefully and note carefully. All the best. I will call GDGU V14. Akshita,
Yeah,
are you there?
yeah.
There's some problem with okay. Next team GDGU V06.
G.
Next team noted. Can you please inform if it's noted? Next team GDGU V15. I repeat, GDGU V15.
Yes.
It's H.
H. Okay.
H. GDGU V03. GDGU V03. E. It's E.
Yes, thank you.
GDGU V09.
Yes, ma'am.
GDGU V09.
B.
It's B.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
GDGU V04. GDGU V04.
A.
It's A. Shamsa, we will be sharing the fixtures at the end of this video, so you can check uh, later as well.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Next team, GDGUV 16. GDGUV 16.
F.
It's F. Lastly, GDGUV 07.
D.
GDGUV 07. D.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Samya, can you please share the fixtures? Thank you. So here are the fixtures. Please note this down.
Is that GDGUV 17 or it's 7?
We are sorry for the mistake. It's GDGUV 07. Participants, I hope you have seen the demo video. So you have a little knowledge about the rules, how the proceedings will work. So the participants who have qualified, I would like to repeat the rules which will be necessary to be followed during the moot court proceedings. Am I audible to everyone? Can you please respond in any way so that I can know?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you. So the rule number 1 is every non-speaking member of either the other team or the own team should keep their mic on mute. The other rule is that every speaker has to before the starting of the proceeding, when the judge is there, our court masters will ask about whether your connection is fine, stable or not. So you have to answer, the speakers has to answer that their connection is stable so that we can know that you're audible properly or not. Next thing is basically whenever So basically, whenever required, researcher can help a speaker only once during the whole proceeding. So basically, the rule is, if a speaker number 1 requires assistance of researcher, then researcher at that moment for once ask the judge if the researcher can assist the speaker, and if judge gives the permission, then the researcher can take the part and speak for a while, and it should be only for once for per speaker in a proceeding. So basically, if one round is going on and number 1 requires assistance, then you can assist speaker number 1 only once during the proceeding, and if speaker number 2 requires assistance, you can assist speaker number 2 only once during the proceedings. Researcher can help this much. Then there's a 5-minute bracket rule, which everyone has to know, and everyone should know about it very clearly, that every team and every speaker has a 5-minute bracket. If any, unfortunately, there's any blackout in the connection or connectivity issue, then the speaker has a 5-minute bracket to join back in. If the speaker is not has not joined within that 5 minute, in that case the round will be so basically the opportunity of speaking will be transferred to the speaker number 2 if speaker number 1 goes out of the connectivity. And if speaker number 2 goes out of the connectivity, then the round will give the speaking opportunity will be given to the another team. So it's just the 5-minute bracket rule which you have to follow. Rest of the rules will be explained to you by the court masters during before the proceeding. They will brief you about the rules. So all the best regarding it. Thank you so much.
So I think with this we are going to close the part of the inaugural function. Now all the.
I'm sorry, so to interrupt, I just wanted to ask if anyone has any questions, they can ask right now. It will happen in a while. We will be sending you via email the memo exchange. Anything else I can help you with? Any other doubt? I think that's also. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you all of you. I think we are going to close the part of the inaugural function, and also we have announced the results of the quarterfinals. And now the teams are required to join in respect to courtrooms. It will be shared by our Moot court teams. So all the quarterfinalists will be getting courtroom details with from our team. With this, we are going to close the inaugural functions. Thank you all of you.